have concepts that Anshu will cover, right? So we'll break it up into
Yes.
these parts.
So
I'm not sure.
we'll come back and we'll continue the session for the remaining retirement planning and investment planning, taxation, and the remaining mutual fund. These four
Yeah.
sections are remains.
Yeah. Ranju, if you're there, I think he's just about to join in. Uh,
And IPS, I think for the first two component you said like the revenue part of mutual fund, the second one. I think I should be there to see as well,
yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes. So,
Yeah.
Anshu, I want you to stay through this entire learning journey.
Okay.
You'll get a fair understanding also internally of what we do in Axis Bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are the enablers that we have, research reports that we have, which
Okay.
RMs should be using to position mutual funds better to their customer, and what should be your selling strategy as well. I'll take you through one cycle of selling strategy as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So I'm
is
on
that fair?
mute. If
Yeah, yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. Yeah, I'll just quickly check if Renju is there. Renju, if you've joined, okay, just give me a minute. I will just check.
Yeah, hi Abhishek.
Hi. Raju, over to you. Primarily, this is a batch of newly joined RMs, or they're just a couple of months old in the system. So they would like to get a full deep understanding about the revenue credit on mutual funds and how that entire program is structured. How should the RM make more money selling mutual funds? Yeah. So
Yeah,
over to you.
certainly. Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. So just let me know once my slide is visible to you. Okay.
Yes, it is visible now.
Okay, great. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Renju, and I look after mutual fund product. So basically, we are here to make you understand that what are the terminologies which we use in our mutual fund business and how the mutual fund business logic completely works in the bank. So it is slightly different from what the terminology which we use in the industry. To make it even simpler for you, so that you can focus on actually those funds which are beneficial for the customer. At the same time, you can look at the funds which is giving you higher revenue credit, and you can decide which funds to actually pick up and go to the client. So I'll just start with the presentation. So you can actually see on the very first column, it talks about the four different categories, which is category A, B, C, and D. So, in Axis Bank, we have made for these differentiation to make it simpler for you. So, if you look at category A, it is open-ended equity. So, any equity scheme where you can actually invest at any point in time and redeem those units at any point in time is considered as a open-ended equity scheme. So, that is categorized as category A in Axis Bank systems. On the other hand, the funds which have a certain amount of lock-in in equity. Okay, so for example, a ELSS, equity linked saving scheme, which we do for taxation purposes, that is considered as a lock-in fund in equity. So that will be categorized in category B. So Cat B is closed-ended equity schemes, whereas category C is open-ended debt, similar understanding where you can invest at any point in time and redeem at any point in time. Only it is the debt structure. And category D is closed-ended debt. Now we don't do too much category D, but there was a point in time when we used to do capros and fund which had lock-in in debt structure. So at that point of time, category D was also very much there in the select list. Okay, so we'll move on and I'll try to make you understand what exactly we are talking about here about WSC. Okay, so this WSC, which is column 3, it is weighted sales credit. Okay, now how you will come to know what is the WSC of a particular product? So for that, I'll take you to this email. Okay. So you will every month you will get a mail from Mutual Fund ID, which is mutualfund@axisbank.com, which will specifically talk about what is the business credit of these select funds. So this particular mail will talk about what are the funds which are approved in Axis Bank system and what is the WSC of the fund. So this is the attachment which will look like this. Okay, I'll show it to you. Abhishek, is it visible?
Yes.
All visible, all visible. No
Okay,
problem.
great. So you can see this. So for example, if we are talking about Aditya Birla Sun Life Business Cycle Fund, you have opened the attachment and you can see the Aditya Birla Sun Life Fund. Okay. Now you can come directly to column I, where you can see what is the WSC of the fund. Okay. The WSC of the fund will be written here, which is say 100%. So I'll explain you how it works. So for example, a WSC of a particular fund is 100% and you have sold 1 lakh rupees. Okay. You have sold 1 lakh rupees of that fund. So actually WSC earned will be the total sales multiplied by the actual WSC of the fund. So 1 lakh multiplied by 100%, that becomes 1 lakh. Okay. The mutual fund multiplier for all the funds, all the categories will always be 2%. It is the constant. So you will be multiplied your WSC earned by 2%. So 2% of 1 lakh becomes 2000 rupees. So this is the actual revenue you earned. And when you divide this actual revenue by 1000, that becomes the points which you have earned, which will be reflecting in your KRA. Okay. So this is the logic which is used for your revenue as well as points. If anyone have any doubt, please speak now. I'll explain it again if you want, because this is the most important slide so that while you are selecting the funds, which funds to, pick, you have to keep two things in mind. What is the WC of the fund? Okay. And how much points I will earn when I'll be able to, make a sale of this particular fund. So that calculation you will be able to do through this particular slide. So if there's any questions, please speak now.
What is WSC weighted?
Weighted sales credit.
Can you explain? I just missed nature of funds, meaning of open-ended and equity, all category of nature of funds.
Okay, I'll explain it again. So for category A, it is open-ended equity schemes. Okay, any equity scheme where you can invest at any point in time and redeem those funds at any point in time are considered as open-ended equity schemes. So for example, Axis Blue Chip Fund, okay, Axis Triple Advantage Fund, Axis Flexi Cap Fund, all these funds where you can invest your money at any point in time and do the redemption at any point in time without any lock-in is considered as open-ended equity. Okay. On the other hand, the equity schemes, for example, ELSS. ELSS is a equity linked saving scheme, but it has a lock-in of 3 years. Okay. So whenever you have any lock-in in any particular fund, so there are some thematic funds also, which we sometimes come up with innovation fund or probably a business cycle fund, which may have a lock-in of 3 years. We have done thematic funds also, which had lock-in for 3 years in past. So those categories where you invest your money, but there is a caveat that you cannot withdraw your funds before a particular period, those comes under the lock-in category, and in equity that will be identified as category debt, that will be categorized as category D, whereas open-ended debt will be categorized as, sorry, hello, yeah, so in open-ended debt it will be categorized as category C. So that is the categorization of these funds. Okay, so I'll take you to the next slide. There's one more thing which I want to tell you, that for any business you do through internet banking or mobile banking, any business which is happening through internet banking or mobile banking of your client will be automatically mapped to you. So there's nothing to be done for any internet banking or mobile banking transaction.
Sir,
So
hello.
yeah, yeah.
Sir,
Go ahead.
sir, sorry for the interrupt. Sir, on the previous slide, there was one open-ended debt-oriented fund where we are getting only 20% weightage on that sale. So why is that so?
So
Wherever for the open-ended equity fund, we are getting 100% weightage, equity-oriented with lock and close May 150, and the close-ended debt-oriented fund 200% is waiting on there. But only for the open-ended debt funds oriented, we are getting 20% WSC as the slide is showing, and 2% is the multiplier. That depends on the business output. Sometimes it comes into the existence.
So I'll tell you. So in open-ended equity schemes or any other equity scheme, you get upfront credit. Okay, as a business, you get upfront credit. Whereas in debt funds, we get trail commission. We don't get immediately upfront credit on debt funds. We only get trail commission. You get the trail commission at the end of the year. That is the reason only 20% of the WSC is given upfront. Rest of the money will be given as a trail commission. Okay, so that is why you get 20% WSC in open-ended debt scheme, and we are majorly a equity oriented bank. So we in our select funds also you will see very limited debt category funds. We are majorly doing a hybrid category or a equity oriented fund only. So this will be a very very small size of your portfolio, whatever you will be doing.
So what kinds of fund under into this categories like hybrid fund?
No. Hybrid is always equity. 60%, 40%. Hybrid always comes in equity.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm.
so that is never come under debt-oriented fund. Debt-oriented is always you know all the securities, bonds, anything of those
Bonds,
that
right, right.
sort
Okay.
will come under open-ended debt category.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yep. So this slide is very important, guys. You know, this is the slide, you know, I want you to understand very thoroughly. So in Axis Bank, we do something called as upfronting on SIP. Okay, upfronting is basically whatever SIP you are doing. Okay, so that SIP you will get the upfront credit at the starting of the SIP itself. How you can get it? I'll explain it to you. So first of all, understand this. You know, you have to do a SIP between 3,000 and the maximum limit is 50,000. That criteria is very important, that minimum 3,000 and maximum 5,000. Okay, the minimum tenure of the SIP which you will be doing for your client has to be 3 years. That has to be 3 years. Okay, and you will get the upfront credit only for 12 months. How it works, I'll explain it to you. So for example, say you have done a SIP of 10,000 rupees for your customer. Okay, that 10,000 multiplied by 12 months becomes 1.2 lakhs. That is what the credit you will be receiving for. So for example, that that particular fund WSC is 125%. Okay, so 125% of 1.2 lakhs is 1.5 lakhs. That multiplied by the mutual fund multiplier, which we spoke about in the last slide, that becomes your revenue. Okay, so you will actually get 3,000 rupees revenue just by doing a 10,000 rupees SIP. How it is impacting, I'll show it to you. Okay, so see, while I'm going
Hello?
revenue. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, it should be a single SIP or multiple SIP, like 10,000.
10,000, I'm giving you an example of 10,000 rupees. Your minimum has to be 3,000 and maximum has to be 50,000. Maximum can be 50,000. It cannot go beyond 50,000 and it
No,
cannot be less than 3,000.
I'm getting your
So
point. Like I'm asking, like if I do an SIP, I should
mhm.
like debit single SIP for like if I'm earning I want to earn 3,000 points for 10,000 SIP. Like SIP, I have to do one single debit or multiple debit can happen. Like multiple SIPs
You
amounting.
multiple SIP is fine, but the value of the SIP has to be more than 3,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees. If you do it for 2,500, you will not get upfront credit. You have to do it. The minimum value of the SIP has to be 3,000 rupees. So, for example, you are taking 10,000 rupees from the customer. So then you have to split it like 3,300 or something.
Okay.
Okay, so in the previous slide, why I went to the previous slide is to show you how impactful this is. You know, you have done done a lump sum sale of 1 lakh rupee and your actual revenue earned is 2,000 rupees. Okay, whereas at the same time you have done a SIP of 10,000 rupees, but the revenue you have made is 3,000 rupees, which is more than what you have made in a lump sum sale. Okay, so actually by doing more number of SIPs, you will be able to generate higher revenue. Not that customer will not come and speak to you about doing lump sum investments. Definitely, people will diversify their portfolio and put every asset in their portfolio. So mutual fund will be one of the portfolio in their lump sum buckets. But by doing SIPs, it is going to benefit you more. On the CASA side, if you see the slide on the right hand side, you can see the people who have the SIPs in their book have higher CASA. It's actually 2x. So it will help you to do your CASA numbers. At the same time, it will help you to earn more revenue. Okay. So by the same logic, you get 3 points divided by 1000, you actually get the 3 points. Any doubt on this particular slide, guys? We can discuss, no problem.
No, sir.
So this slide is very clear. So simple, 12-month upfront credit, minimum tenure of the SIP has to be 3 years. SIP value has to be between 3000 and maximum it can go up to 15,000, not more than that. Okay, and every fresh SIP will get this. Okay.
For SIP, we have required exams of NMS mutual fund MP.
Yeah, for doing mutual funds, you have to go for that exam. You have to be UN certified to do mutual funds. So I'll take you to this slide. So we spoke about SIP. Okay. Now you look at this particular slide. There, in that particular slide, we spoke about the upfronting of SIP. I'm just going directly to the point structure. Okay. Now you see, look at the illustration, and we will take the same example of that 10,000 rupees. Okay, 10,000 rupees SIP, an illustration of the same with 125% WSC. So every new SIP you do in your book, okay, every new SIP, you will get 2 points upfrontly for that new SIP. Every unique customer you get another 1%, one point. Any digital transaction, okay, so digital transaction is IB or MB. You get your customer do the transaction through IB or MB, you will get additional 1 point. Okay, and the 3 points which you have seen in the last slide, which is the upfront WSE credit. So by sale of 10,000 rupees SIP, you are actually making 7 points for your KRA. You see how SIP is going to make you, make it easier for you to do the fee business. So the maximum number of SIP, even by doing a 50,000 SIP, you can actually earn a 19 points, which is humongous. Okay, so my point of discussion here is try to do new SIPs, try to do SIPs with unique customers, and do it through digital. So while you are doing digital transactions, you don't have to do anything, like no reconciliation of business. It will automatically reflect in your books. It will automatically reflect in your KRA. I spoke about that in the first slide itself, that while you are doing digital transaction, if you are encouraging your customer to do it through IB or MB, then you will get the credit automatically. So it have both the benefits. So focus should be digital transactions and focus should be getting new customers to the bank. Okay, so it will get you more business credit. Any doubt on this particular slide, guys?
No, sir.
By unique customers, do you mean that one who hasn't invested in mutual funds, or like
Yes, any customer who is not who's not with ARN 0019. Okay, so I think we should move ahead. So same we do with STP also. So STP, I'll explain you what first. I'll explain what exactly STP is. STP is systematic transfer plan. So sometimes what happens is a customer, maybe he'll tell you that markets are at very high. He may probably want to postpone it after 6 months, after 12 months. What you can, as an advisor, what you can advise a customer is that you cannot time the market, but what you can do is you invest your funds in a debt fund, okay, over a period of over a period of that debt will move to equity in the form of STP. That is called systematic transfer plan. So for example, your customer have 1200 rupees to invest. You invest that 1200 rupees upfrontly in a debt fund. Every month, 100 rupee will move from the debt portfolio and it will invest in equity portfolio or hybrid portfolio, whatever kind of portfolio customer choose. It will move from your debt and it will move towards your equity. Okay. So in this way, the customer does not have to time the market. At the same time, he don't have to manually look at his, he don't have to manually allocate his funds every month in particular equity scheme. He'll give you an instruction for STP and that will happen automatically. You will get an upfront credit for first 6 installments. So that first 6 installment can be in first 6 months also. It depends. The customer can give you instruction to do it every half month also, like in 15 days also. So whatever first 6 installments are there, you will get credit only for that. So any upfronting business, be it SIP, be it STP, any upfronting is applicable only for category A schemes, nothing for category B, C, D. So it is applicable only on category A schemes. So make sure that you while you're thinking about doing these things, it has to be category A, which is open-ended equity. Okay, so this is about the business credit on STP. Now, apart from that, I have shown you the WSC for every particular, schemes. So I'll show it to you once again for your clear understanding. So for example, this Aditya Birla Sun Life Flexi Cap Fund. Okay, this Aditya Birla Sun Life Flexi Cap Fund also have 100% WSC. Okay, so we have something called as IPS. So IPS is a software. In this IPS software, you have different transaction modes. Okay, out of those transaction modes, there is one mode where a email is being initiated to the customer and OTP also goes on mail to the customer. Okay, customer reads the mail and punch in the OTP and submits it, and the transaction automatically executes. So basically, you from the branch will initiate this transaction. A mail will be sent to the customer with the details of the product. The customer will read the product, and there will be one OTP which will be sent to this customer. Customer will submit that OTP, and the transaction is completed. Okay, that is called as OTP mode. We give you additional 15% for that particular transaction. So for example, if 100% is the WSC of this particular fund, which is Aditya Birla Sun Life Flexi Cap Fund, if you are doing it through OTP mode, you will get 115% WSC. At the same time, if the customer is a new customer to the bank, you will get another 25%. So if you're doing it with a new customer and through OTP mode, 100% WSC fund can fetch you up to 140% WSC. So make sure while you are punching any lump sum transaction, do it through IPS, do it through OTP mode, and try to do it with every new customer in your portfolio. Any doubt on this particular slide?
So only Aditya Birla is the option where we can
No,
avail
no,
this
no, no, no.
benefit or any other.
No. See, there's a lot of funds. I am just because Aditya Birla, we have some 21 partners. See the
Okay.
partner list. It's huge. It's actually Aditya Birla is as per the numerics, A is on the top, no double A. So it comes on the top. Otherwise, we have some 22 AMCs, 21 AMCs we have partnered with. So you can sell any of those funds, not a problem. And all those
Can we
WCs
get
are
this list of the funds, list of
this
the
list.
partners?
That's what I said at the starting of the session, that from mutual fund ID, every month you get this mail where you can see which are the selected funds as per the bank research team, which are the funds which are approved in the system to sell to the clients, and you can see the associated WSC also, which is there. Okay.
Okay.
Any
Can
other
you repeat
doubt
the
on this?
IPS?
There's a little bit disturbance, guys.
मैं साला मेरा लैपटॉप आया क्या करना तो सर
Team, please repeat.
I've just muted everyone. I request you to please unmute yourself and then continue.
Sir, hello.
Renju, I've muted everybody. Request you to please unmute yourself.
Yeah. I'm
Hello.
audible now.
I was going to this example that once we are going for this OTP mode, then we will get 15% weightage. And additionally, if customer is new with the customer is new for our bank, then we will again get a 25% weightage on that. So
Correct.
is that clear? Is that correct?
Yes, you are right. If you are doing it through OTP
Okay.
mode, you'll get an additional 15%. And if the client is a new client to the bank, you get another 25% over and above the actual WSC of the fund.
And suppose that amount that initially we discussed that if we are doing 10,000, then we getting 7%, 50,000, then we are getting 19%. That's all also the weightage. So additionally, we can just club this in the same if we are doing that
Correct.
amount.
Correct. Absolutely right.
Then, okay. Thank you.
Can you repeat the IPS? Where can we find the actually IPS site?
So IPS,
So there is a session which is after this, right after Renju finishes, which is going to be on the entire IPS journey. That is going to be taken by, Sanket's team. So just please wait for that.
Yeah, there'll be a separate session, guys, and IPS is one of a kind software which we have in the industry, which Axis Bank has, and it is one of the best systems. I'm not saying just because I am from the mutual fund team, but yes, that's the feedback which we have got from the field, and Sanket will take you through that IPS system, and I hope it will help you through your journey. That's all actually from my side, Abhishek. That's about the which are the business how we evaluate business credit and how are we doing upfronting on these funds. So that's from my side.
Thank you, Renju. Really appreciate your time. What we'll do now, guys, is that we'll take you through the IPS journey.